So we have built gaming PCs in mini ATX cases, ITX cases, and full-size towers, but this is the first time that I have built a gaming PC in a case that lays down. I'm so blown away at how big this thing is. Now this massive case right here is the NESO-P1 by Gamdius, and they had reached out to me to see if it was all right if they send me this gorgeous case to use in our Build Up Challenge series. I'm just gonna be honest with you though, I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do. So for all of you OGs out there, you already know, but for anybody new here, we have earned $2,492 building and selling gaming PCs so that we can save up those funds and build an over $3,000 gaming PC that one lucky subscriber will have the chance to win. And because Gamdius is an absolute legend and sent over this behemoth of a PC case, I figured we needed to put a build inside of here that can match this thing's beauty. I like the idea of it laying down, but I'm a sucker for a traditional style case. Just wait till you see what I have planned for this thing. Now with all of the items that I have collected for this build right here, we are going to have a computer that not only looks like an all-star, but it's going to perform like one as well. But first we've got to build this thing, and afterwards we will go over the total cost of what it took to build this computer, which is stunningly low, by the way, and we will test a little bit of gameplay, and then we'll go over where we stand in current funds for the computer that one of you subscribers will have the opportunity to win. I just chugged that whole cup of coffee, so I am pumped up. Let's build this thing. is evil looking. I mean, it looks demonic, and the gameplay we got from it is fantastic. Starting off with Halo Infinite, at max settings, we were getting a strong 84 FPS on average. Trying out a new game, we tested out Warhaven at max settings, and we were getting an average of 148 FPS. When we tested out Battlefield 2042, at very high settings, we saw an average of 77 FPS. And in GTA 5, at max settings, we're getting a stunning 168 FPS. And lastly, we had to see how this system would perform in Starfield, just because it's such a demanding game, and at medium settings, we're getting a beautiful 78 average FPS. Now this thing is a thing of beauty for sure, and I think that you're gonna be pretty shocked when you hear just how inexpensive this total build cost was. But before I get into all that, I did need to brag about this case for just a minute. Now, I build a lot of computers, and because of that, I deal with a lot of different cases, and this case right here is a breath of fresh air. You can tell that a lot of time went into the manufacturing process for this computer, and it was definitely designed with customization and user friendliness in mind. Now, I did show you in the beginning of the video that you can actually take this case and lay it down, because you are able to remove and reattach the legs onto the back of this case. And I really wanted to test that out, but what I really wanted to do was play with the ability to flip the graphics card. And because I wanted the graphics card to have this orientation, I was worried that if it was laying down, the graphics card would be too heavy, causing the graphics card to put too much pressure on the back here, which may have caused damage to the graphics card or to the case. So I went ahead and just stuck with this traditional style here. But if you were to lay it down, just remember, this case is huge, and when you lay it down, it's even bigger. Now you can tell that this case was built with maximum airflow in mind. It was also built for custom water cooling in mind as well, due to the built-in chambers to hide radiators at the top and the bottom. And with the ability to put 10 fans in here, you're not gonna have a problem with temperatures. Now, it can't always be sunshine and rainbows, as you can find issues with just about anything these days. And when it comes to this case, I really only found a few things that were issues for me. Starting off with the front and the side glass here, they were extremely difficult to get off of these hinges right here. I was able to remove the side glass here, but for the front glass, it was so stuck on there that I was worried that my pulling on it was going to either cause damage to the case or I was gonna break the glass. So I decided that I was just going to do the whole build with it still attached, which wasn't a huge deal. It was just a minor inconvenience and something that I thought maybe you guys would wanna know. Now, that might just be something that is an issue with this specific case, but it was worth talking about. The only other issue that I found while working on this case was these back 3 fans here. Now, each one of the fans that I chose for this build have 2 wires. So that's 6 wires right there that I have to try and hide, and they don't create any openings to route the cables directly from here to the back of the case. So I had to route my cables down and underneath the bottom of the case and into the back so that I could power them. It was just a minor annoyance. I think that some kind of small opening either at the top or the bottom that's large enough to fit a decent amount of wires would be a good addition to this computer. But to sum it all up, this right here is one of the best cases that I have built in this year. And what do you guys think? Should I get in contact with Gamdius and see if they're willing to send me another one for our grand finale computer? I wonder if they'd go for that. Let me know in the comments what you think. But speaking about grand finale computers, we need to go over where we currently stand in funds to build your computer. So we need to talk about how much it costs to build this system right here. And we'll start off with the motherboard. Now, the motherboard inside of this system came with a Ryzen 7 2700, and I got that combo for 60 bucks. So generally I would say that the processor is more expensive than the motherboard, but for this video, we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut it right down in half. We're gonna say that I paid $30 for that motherboard right here, and I put a Ryzen 5 5600X processor in it, which is an extremely good CPU, and I only paid $80 for that CPU, which is a bargain. I mean, I'm telling you that when he said he would take that deal, I was floored. Now for the 5700 XT graphics card that we put in here, I paid $100 cash for that. So if you factor in those prices plus the cost of what it took for the RAM, the cable extensions, the power supply, the fans, the SSD, all of that cost me $323, bringing the total build cost for this system right here to $533, which is absolutely fantastic. Now last week we had a total bankroll of $2,492 to spend on your system. And after we take into account how much it cost us to build this gorgeous computer right here, we are left with $1,959 for your system. And usually this is where I say we also sold a couple computers, but unfortunately we did not sell any computers this week. We did have some inquiries about it, and I do have a meetup planned for this upcoming weekend to sell one of them. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this to the already 2 computers that we're trying to sell, and I'm gonna put a list price on this computer of $1,000. That's a lot of money. And if I sell the 3 computers that we still have for sale, season 1's done, and I'm gonna build your system. Now remember, if you do want a chance to win that over $3,000 PC that we will be building very shortly, you are going to need to be an active member of the PC Rehab Discord server. I'm gonna leave a link to that server in the description down below. Now, if we get $1,000 for this PC right here, I'm gonna be blown away. But even if I get negotiated down a little bit, we're still going to have made a very large amount of money, all thanks to Gamdius. Now, a tremendous amount of work goes into making each and every single one of these videos for your viewing pleasure. So if you had the smallest amount of fun with me, I mean, I'm talking just like the tiniest amount of fun, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I put out brand new videos every single Saturday. But even if you don't want to follow me, I hope that no matter where you are in the world, you're having a fantastic day. And you better be right here for that next video.